So earlier today, I took this chicken out and decided that I wanted to make creamy lemon chicken. It's something I kind of made up. I like it, and my family likes it a lot. I'm assuming they do. I've made something similar before, but it is so delicious. So I'm using the Lowry's garlic salt, the regular black pepper. I'm using Lowry's seasoning salt. And you may say, well, that seems like a lot, but it's not. There's a lot of chicken, so you want to make sure you have enough. I also use the Tony Chachere's, which gets me every time with sneezing, but it just gives a kick and a pop to everything, and it's not spicy. So even though it says Creole, it's not hot. And then I use just a little bit of lemon pepper seasoning because this is a lemony dish. So I wanted to be able to go ahead and get that lemony taste into the chicken. So that's smoky paprika. And then what you're gonna do is you can cover it after this. You don't need, I was telling you right there to mix it up with your hands, but I didn't feel like getting my hands messy in chicken. And I remembered that I just didn't feel like all that gooey. So here I am stirring it up off camera. I stirred it up way better. And again, you could put some gloves on and just mix it up, or just use your hands. It's your family's chicken. So however you normally mix up chicken, that's what we're doing here. Got it all mixed up. Everything's well coated. It's going to go in the oven. Now, I initially put it in the oven at 425, but I'm not going to lie. I turned it up to 525 because I wanted it to cook really fast, and baked chicken doesn't take long to cook at all. My family loves jasmine rice, and so here we are. We're going to boil some water, and I always put the rice in before the water starts boiling, but you do it however you like. It doesn't take long for it to cook, and I'm making enough so that they can have lunch tomorrow if they want to. I put in about, it looks like maybe 4 to 5 cups of water. And then I'm going to add the chicken broth. Why? I don't know, because the chicken broth really didn't add any flavor into it, in my opinion. So I still needed to go back and add some salt. But I just thought that it would help because, again, we're making creamy chicken and rice, and I wanted the rice to be semi-creamy tasting as well. So I put the chicken broth in there, and then I went on and added salt off camera. So here we're having kale. I was thinking about broccoli, but I just wasn't in the mood for broccoli florets. The thing about kale is you have to wash it really well. So in addition to washing it off in the colander, I put it in a bowl so that it could soak in the bowl, and then let the dirt basically run off of it. I added vinegar. You'll see in one of the other shots coming up. But you're going to need to do this several times. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of dinner or getting ready to eat it and you have grains of sand. So the vinegar is just going to help release the dirt. Some people add a little bit of dishwashing liquid, not going to lie. I haven't done that, haven't gone that far, but I know older people that do. I'm using my pressure cooker, and I put some butter, some olive oil, and I'm not dogging it out. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, whatever works for you, just make sure to wash all the suds off. Butter, olive oil, and garlic salt, and then I'm adding a layer of kale, a little bit of garlic salt, another layer of kale, more garlic salt. It may seem like a lot, but literally when I got to the end and it had cooked, it still needed a little bit more seasoning because these leaves soak up a lot of water, and I think I had put too much water in there also. I just wanted to make sure that it didn't thank you, honey. I wanted to make sure that it didn't stick to the pot because it can burn if you don't put enough water in your pressure cooker. So here I am adding a little bit more garlic salt on the top, and then I think I added about 3 or 4 cups of water. There is a maximum line in here, but again, I didn't fill it all the way up to the maximum line. But I do point it out to you so you can tell where it is. And everyone's pressure cooker is different. So I used 2 short wine glass sizes of water, if that tells you anything. And I believe that's roughly 4 cups. sure it says 40 minutes and not 10 because it's not going to cook in 10 minutes. It is kale. It'll cook fast, but you're going to need exactly 40 minutes. So it cuts itself on. I decided to make pinto beans. Why, I don't know. They really don't go with the dish, but I think they end up tasting really great at the end. Here I am rinsing off the rice. My husband likes for some of the starch to stay on the rice. So, and I cooked a lot of it. So I did rinse the majority of it off, but I left some on there just so it still had that ooey gooey sticky goodness that people like. And I had seasoned it a little bit more. So there it is. It's kind of sticky and it'll be really great with the gravy. So I didn't rinse it to where all the starch came off. We got about 24 minutes left on the kale. So we're checking on the chicken. And it's ready at this point. I think I did put it back in there a few more minutes because my husband and son like darker colored chicken, whereas Miriam and I kind of like it at this point. But I decided to take it out and stir it around. Again, I don't use recipes. I don't track recipes or anything like that, but I'm checking on it here. It seems like it's great. It's fork tender. We can pull it off the bone. And this is where I'm getting ready to mix up the sauce. So I want to tell you that I cooked the chicken for about an hour. You maybe don't need to cook it that long, but that's how long I cooked it because I wanted it to fall off the bone. I wanted when I went to mix it up that you'd had full chicken and you also had pieces of chicken meat in your rice and in your gravy. Said we're making a creamy lemon chicken. I have no clue how to use this thing. I bought it from IKEA and I was like, how do you use this thing? But anyway, I figured it out as best I could. Maybe one of you knows how to use it better. But what I did was I squeezed 2 lemons, the juice of 2 lemons over the chicken because I wanted to have a sharp lemon taste. Like I want you to be able to taste the fact that we put lemon in here because even though we use lemon pepper, as we all know, lemon pepper mainly tastes like salt. So even though it has the yellow flakes in it, it doesn't necessarily give it that perfect lemony taste. I also use a family-sized can of the cream of mushroom soup. And that's what's going to give us like a gravy because we basically are making a creamy lemon gravy. So I'm smoothing it all around, smattering it up. And then once I get this on there, then I am going to add water to the cream of mushroom soup can just to get the rest of the soup off of there. And because I want us to have enough gravy to basically put on the rice, which you'll see at the end. Spread it all around. I squeezed out some more of the lemon. I did was I forgot, I think I may have already said this, but I added water to the can. I cut up the lemons with into little wedges because again, we wanted to have pops of lemon flavoring and taste throughout. The kale is ready. It came out super delicious. And so what I do is I'll let it depressurize on the bar away from my cabinets because I don't want that steam to damage the cabinets. So that's why I've moved it over here, and now I'm releasing the steam and releasing the pressure so that we can open it up in a little bit. The light's not on because I've unplugged it at this point. So we open it up and the kale is perfection. So literally 40 minutes and your kale is good to go. It's tender, just like if you were making like a delicious green, collards, turnips, or mustards. The kale is gonna be tender just like that in 40 minutes in your pressure cooker. It's making a yummy, delicious gravy. I added a little bit more water, I think, off camera because I wanted extra gravy. But it's coming out just like we want it to look, and it's gonna be like a light brown, so it's not gonna be like a dark gravy. I mean, I guess if you use a different kind of soup, you probably could get a darker gravy, but I prefer chicken gravies, turkey gravies. I prefer lighter colored gravies. I don't really like the dark brown. But this is looking fabulous. Now, it may not look fabulous, like gorgeous, but it's going to taste gorgeous. Well, here it is. It is ready and good to go. I have Miriam holding the camera so I can pull it out. And you can see what it looks like, and it literally looks like a Thanksgiving meal. It's gonna warm your heart just like a Thanksgiving meal. It's one of those midweek, it's not even midweek, today's Tuesday, but I don't know, I was hungry. Right, but it's one of those yummy, heart-warming meals that, you know, would just taste extra great and made with love. And so I'm gonna plate it up for you. Not gonna lie, I was super hungry. I did not have lunch today, so I'm not trying to make a cute plate. I'm getting ready to get my eat on plate. So I'm putting a big old scoop of rice. I'm grabbing some of the chicken, and I realize at this point, after this, that's my favorite spoon. Do y'all have a favorite spoon? I realized after this that I didn't have a spoon for the gravy, but Miriam, she's gonna hand me one later on. So I get some pinto beans. They have like a nice buttery flavor. I didn't add any seasoning to them because we had already seasoned everything else up so much. I was like, that's just gonna be overkill. So now I'm getting the kale, and I'm putting a healthy scoop of that. Now, you can drain your kale if you want to. I did pour the majority of the juice off of it because I had put, I think, just too much water in the crock pot. But better to have too much than not enough, because I have burnt food in the crock pot before. I'm sorry, the pressure cooker. So I wanted to make sure I had enough water in there. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to scoop our creamy lemony chicken on top of the rice. And when I tell you, it is fabulously delicious. It's so good. For the chicken, because I need a spoon that doesn't have holes, but this is what I got, so this is what we're gonna go with over here. I'm gonna go with a thigh. You guys, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so yummy. I don't think I want any lemon. So basically what you're gonna have is like a lemony, creamy gravy. What you looking for, baby? You want this one? I should know that's not gonna work. Thank you. My wise little sweet baby went and got us a spoon to work. That's because she's used to getting gravy, so she knows all about that. I don't want to take all the gravy, so that's what it's looking like. I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Let's taste it together, and if it's nasty, I'll tell you. Because I don't like nasty food. So let's taste the chicken and rice first. And I don't want to burn my tongue on camera, because I did what did I make the last time and burn the roof of my mouth? That crab dip. Oh my gosh, there's nothing worse than burning the roof of your mouth. So we're gonna let that cool off for a second. Cause you know how you end up with that blister on the roof of your mouth? And that's not fun. It tastes tangy. And it tastes creamy because of the rice. It's delicious. Delicious. Ooh, and the cream of mushroom soup kind of tones down the lemon. It's super lemony and delicious. Okay, let's taste the kale. Yeah, I hate watching people eat. So if this is the part you hate and you're like me, I understand. Skip forward or cut it off. I totally get it. I hate watching people eat. I'm not the person to watch a mukbang. Oh my gosh, it grates my whole nerves. But I hate to cook something and then not taste it and everybody be like, well, what did it taste like? Hell, yummy. The beans are boring, but they give it a nice texture and like a nice nutty flavor with the rice. Okay, so I'm gonna go eat. Love you guys. God bless you. Talk to you soon.